Once upon a time, in a vast and colorful jungle, there lived a little lion named Leo. Leo was different from the other lions. While the grown-up lions and his older siblings could roar so loudly that it shook the trees, Leo couldn't seem to make much noise at all. Whenever Leo tried to roar, he would puff out his chest, take a deep breath, and meow, a tiny squeak, like a kitten's meow. It wasn't a lion's roar at all. Leo was sad. He wanted to roar like the others, to show he was brave and strong. One morning, while the jungle animals were gathered for breakfast, Leo's father, King Leo, stood on a rock and let out a mighty roar. Roar! The sound echoed through the jungle, and the birds flew up in the trees. All the animals clapped their paws and hooves. Leo felt a pang of sadness in his heart. He wanted to be just like his father. Why can't I roar like them? Leo asked his mother, Queen Lila, who was sitting nearby. Queen Lila smiled and nuzzled Leo. Every lion has his own way of roaring, my dear. You just need to find your own voice. But no matter how much Leo tried, he couldn't find his roar. The other lions laughed and told him not to worry, but Leo couldn't help but feel disappointed. What kind of lion couldn't roar? One afternoon, Leo decided to go on a walk through the jungle to think. As he wandered through the trees, he met his best friend, Casey the squirrel. Casey was busy gathering acorns and looking very cheerful. Hi, Leo. What's wrong? You look sad, Casey asked. I can't roar like the other lions. I'm not as strong as they are, Leo said with a sigh. Casey thought for a moment and then said, I think you're already strong in your own way, Leo. Maybe you just need to try something new. Why don't we go to the river and try to make some sounds together? Leo wasn't sure how that would help, but he trusted his friend. So off they went to the river, where the gentle current made soft, splashing sounds. Casey picked up a stone and tapped it against a rock. Listen, Leo, she said. Even though this sound isn't loud like a roar, it's still important. It makes the river sound peaceful. Leo sat down by the river, watching the water flow. Thinking about what Casey had said, he closed his eyes and took a deep breath. This time, instead of trying to roar like the others, Leo let his voice flow naturally. Roar, 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 Leo said, and to his surprise, he heard a sound. It wasn't as loud as his father's, but deep and clear. It wasn't a booming roar, but it was his. It was the voice of the little lion who had found his own way to roar. Leo stood up, feeling proud. He looked at Casey, who was jumping around with excitement. That's the one. You did it, Leo. Feeling much better, Leo returned to the jungle and stood on a rock. The animals were all watching, curious about what Leo would do next. He took a deep breath and let out his roar. R-A-W-R. It wasn't loud enough to shake the trees, but it was strong and clear. The animals around him clapped and cheered. What a wonderful roar, cheered the giraffes. It's different, but it's perfect. Leo smiled and felt a warm, happy feeling inside. He realized that it wasn't how loud his roar was that mattered. It was that it was his own, and that made it special. From then on, Leo never worried about trying to roar like anyone else. He roared proudly in his own way, knowing that the best roar comes from being true to yourself. And so, the little lion who couldn't roar discovered that sometimes the greatest strength lies in finding your own voice, no matter how it sounds.